Just the same way Bitcoin hit an impressive peak with its price booming to an all-time high of $69,000, Cardano ADA seems to be on a similar path. It sounds unbelievable, but Bitcoin also faced a similar sentiment. No one knows what's coming for Cardano ADA. The Bitcoin price has lost 15% since peaking at almost $32,000 per Bitcoin earlier this year, pulling back the prices of other top 10 coins, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP, even though the market is bracing for a huge Wall Street earthquake. Now, as billionaire hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones issues a cataclysmic US dollar warning, a legendary Bitcoin and crypto trader, Arthur Hayes, has predicted that trillions of dollars are about to hit the crypto market, heralding a massive price bull run. This is like reaping great harvest from misfortune, but this impending doom does not imply that crypto would replace the US dollar, right? It's just so ridiculous how much money is going to be printed over the next 2 to 3 years while the central banks try to save the government bond markets, that I guess I'm just so bullish on Bitcoin, crypto, certain stocks, and so bearish on fiat just because there's going to be umpteen more trillions of dollars in it, Arthur Hayes said in a YouTube video. The interviewer was Rand Neuner. Hayes further said that the Federal Reserve in the US and central banks across Europe and Asia will be compelled to issue increasing amounts of debt in the coming years, hence boosting speculative risk assets such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies, while at the same time weakening the US dollar. Another analyst wrote in an email note, "We also saw some dovish shifts in the Fed's official stance on monetary policy this week, as a handful of them suggested higher long-term yield would do the job for them." The analyst added that the macro environment is starting to shift in favor of Bitcoin. However, analysts at the investment bank Jefferies warned that the Fed will be forced to restart its money printer, potentially collapsing the US dollar and propelling a Bitcoin price boom to rival gold. Meanwhile, Haynes pointed to the commercialization of artificial intelligence this year as the potential catalyst for an overhaul of the economic and financial system. From his perspective, it is the most transformative development of all time. It is hard to say, but Cardano ADA is in its doldrums now. This sentiment raved in the minds of people, especially in June when the SEC heightened its threats about ADA being a security. So the upcoming crypto boom might not influence Cardano's price action. Cardano's development company, IOG, tried to dismiss the SEC's claims. The company explained that the SEC lawsuits filed against crypto exchanges Binance and Coinbase contained numerous factual inaccuracies. It claimed that allegations would have no impact on IOG's operations. Under no circumstances is ADA a security under the US securities laws. It has never been. Understanding how decentralized blockchains operate is a fundamental component in creating responsible legislation, it said. IOG further noted that regulation through enforcement actions does not provide the necessary clarity or certainty that both the blockchain industry and consumers deserve. The impact of this turbulence is still lingering to this moment. Most investors have used it as a good excuse to avoid investing in Cardano ADA. However, these effects have not dampened the slew of upgrades that go on in the Cardano ecosystem. The developers are unrelenting, and the Cardano community is still cheering the ecosystem on. Cardano's Lace wallet has made significant strides with its latest feature, allowing users to stake ADA tokens across multiple pools. This novel development is more than just an upgrade, as it's a revolution in Cardano's approach to decentralization, potentially shaping the future of staking in the crypto industry. As long as decentralization is concerned, staking has an essential role to play. Consequently, with its 1.3 strong staker base and proof-of-stake blockchain, Cardano sets the pace in this aspect. Introducing Lace Wallet multi-pool delegation feature elevates Cardano's efforts to a new level, further democratizing network participation. It's taken the entire industry on in one swoop. Built based on community feedback, the beta version of this feature employs a clever mechanism. Lace generates several stake keys from a single account, thus creating distinct addresses for each pool. In addition, users can set the proportion of ADA they wish to stake in each pool. With this, ADA holders can diversify their investments across up to 5 different stake pool operators, further strengthening the network's decentralization by broadening the range of block creators. From the SPO standpoint, Lace's innovation is a game changer, since users aren't being restricted to backing to just one pool. It permits SPOs to attract a wider user base. From the onset, users can set a fixed ratio for stake distribution among these pools, but Lace plans to adjust this ratio in further updates. Interestingly, this comes at a time when the SEC has been eyeing cryptocurrency exchanges offering staking services. Lace's multi-pool feature is indeed an innovation and a strategic move. It aligns perfectly with Cardano's commitment to decentralization, effectively making the network more robust against centralization risk. Simply put, Lace Wallet's multi-pool delegation feature could be the critical point in Cardano's quest for ultimate decentralization. It not only makes staking more accessible, but also upholds the core vision of a more decentralized and inclusive blockchain ecosystem. It is an impressive development, and even the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, could not hide his excitement. Cardano users are indeed set for a dynamic turn. Hoskinson announced excitedly on X that the multi-delegation feature is finally out for release. He went on to say that the long-awaited delegation portfolios will be the next iteration of this feature. According to the tweet, multi-delegation is finally out for release. The next iteration of this feature is the long-awaited delegation portfolios. Moreover, Charles Hoskinson had forecasted that Cardano might outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies in decentralization. Recent data from Sentiment supports this claim, labeling Cardano as the industry's top development platform ahead of competitors like Polkadot and Kusama. Cardano had previously surpassed Polkadot and Kusama in terms of development rate earlier this summer, but it has since been reversed. Nonetheless, Cardano does remain one of the top 3 assets in terms of development activity. However, amid the spat of excitement, a widely followed crypto strategist believes Cardano is close to making a steep move to the downside. This was Benjamin Cowan, and as usual, he warned his YouTube subscribers that Cardano appears to be on the verge of breaking below a key support level on the weekly chart after retesting it several times since December of 2022. In technical analysis, a support level tends to become weaker when an asset revisits it again and again, as buyers get exhausted. Cowan said, "It's hard to imagine that it will just stay here above the 24-cent support level for the rest of the year and not make a decisive move. I think there will be a decisive move before the end of the year, and I think it's going to be down." He believes that Cardano is likely to plummet due to a fail in net liquidity, sharing a chart how ADA is following the ebb and flow of global net liquidity. According to him, ADA is basically tracking net liquidity here. So to me, it should not be surprising that altcoins are performing in this way, because net liquidity is going down. Now, net liquidity here is being defined as a balance sheet central banks of various central banks, including from the United States, Canada, and the European Central Bank, the UK, China, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, and we're subtracting out the TGA, Treasury General Account, and the reverse repo. Cowan gave a response to when Cardano and other altcoins are likely to turn bullish, which was, eventually when liquidity comes back, you might expect altcoins to sort of mean revert up higher, and that's when those oversized gains that a lot of people are looking for come from. Unfortunately, they do not come from in the pre-halving year. The altcoin market simply gets wrecked. So when you go to look at the ADA USD pair, we have to be just reminded of the fact that it functions of excess liquidity. Well, Cardano is now in the spotlight, especially with the upcoming DevNet launch of Midnight. The Midnight Network is a privacy-friendly sidechain that uses zero-knowledge proofs. A tweet read, "How do you link identity and privacy in the right way, where you preserve the rights of individuals?" This is what we've been working on for over 4 years with hashtag Midnight Network. With Midnight, Charles Hoskinson explained how one can link identity to privacy in the right way. He talked about how the blockchain development, privacy, and innovative functionality often stand as 2 pillars, occasionally at odds with each other, but fundamentally inseparable. So Cardano, under the clever development of the Input-Output Global team, recently introduced the Midnight Network, a ZK-based privacy sidechain that seamlessly connects these 2 pillars, forging a path rarely taken. A lot is still unclear about Midnight, but IOG elegantly staged the unveiling of the Midnight Network by inaugurating its X account along with an official website in the 3rd quarter of 2023. As Midnight clocks inches closer to the DevNet phase, working methodically for almost a year, there is an expectant silence in the decentralized world. So developers and Cardano enthusiasts are being urged to embrace the new protocol. Plus, Midnight is positioning itself as a potentially revolutionary player in the space of tokenized digital assets, including NFTs, where users can interact, transact, and engage without losing their anonymity. Things are getting interesting. Or what do you think? One thing is for certain, more upgrades are coming for Cardano. But that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you hit the subscribe notification buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.